Hey guys, good evening. Welcome to Let 'em Run, Thursday's podcast edition of our One Horse Wonders for Gulfstream Park. I am Fred York. Apologize for the delay. Boy, we're here in Hamilton, Trenton, New Jersey. We just had some crazy storms going through. More so where my man Sean Miller is, who sets up the studio for us. If you saw the opening, it was a little bit of an opening about soccer. I don't know anything about soccer, trust me. So you need to know about soccer. You need to talk to my boy Sean Miller. But anyway, he had some trouble up there with the power, and it looks like everything's okay now. But it put a little bit delay in our damper for our 8 o'clock Let 'em Run episode for our One Horse Wonder top picks for the late pick 5 at Gulfstream Park. So welcome. Good to be here. Glad you're here with us. Hope you're safe wherever you are. The storm came through about a half hour, 45 minutes ago. Did some damage to a lot of different places. So I hope everybody's okay out there, and we'll try and get this going and get this information right so we can get it to you, which we do on every Thursday night at 8 o'clock regarding the late pick 5 at Gulfstream Park. They are currently almost about ready to wrap up at Gulfstream Park. Their their Royal Palm meet. They'll be ending that on June 29th, which will be a week from this Sunday. They'll be shutting down for more or less the months of July and August. They'll be coming back again on September. Gulfstream Park will be coming back again in September with, Jesus Christ, not my mic. Sorry, guys. You probably heard that from far away, but it's been a crazy night. I had to go out and take care and get some stuff done with the lighting. Sean, God bless him, had to really scramble because he had no internet. I apologize. Anyway, let's try it again. We're here again on Thursday at 8 p.m. for our weekly podcast for Let 'em Run. I'm Fred York. Again, doing our One Horse Wonders, which is our top picks at the late pick 5 at Gulfstream Park on Saturday, June 21st, races 7 through 11. Again, we had some problems here. Sorry for the delay. Sorry for the microphone not being up when we first started. Hope everything's okay now with everybody, and we could get this going in a good way. Last week, if you followed Let 'em Run on our podcast and in our articles on Florida Sports Talk, where Sean Miller takes what I write up and puts together the information and puts it out there on Florida Sports Talk. And it's up there to read. A lot of good information in addition to what we talked about on our podcast, both on Thursday night on our One Horse Wonders, where we did try and do another failed experiment, which was our happy hour handicapping. We tried to do it at 3 o'clock, but there was that weird Google power outage. I don't know, another power outage. What the heck's going on? So that got delayed. We did it, but we did it a little bit later. It was more around 5:30 on Thursday. We're going to try that again because we did get a lot of interest in that happy hour handicapping, which would have been cool. We were trying to do it at 3 o'clock. So that was a little bit of a problem with that. But we're here ready to go again tonight at 8 p.m. Well, actually, it's after 8 p.m. now. It's like 8:42. But again, I hope Sean's okay over there with his issues with the tornado that came through. So once again, we're going to do our top picks, and we call One Horse Wonders. If you're new to the podcast or you follow us, you know we do our top picks tonight. On Saturday at 12:30, we'll review the races again and go ahead and go over our top picks along with our 2 contenders. Last week, we had another banner week where we picked 2 of our top picks came in first. 2 of our contenders came in first. We hit the trifecta in the 11th race where our top pick came in first. Our 2 contenders came in second and third. So we had a very good week last week. We've been having some very good weeks. We're looking forward to having another good week this week. We hope you watch us. We hope you subscribe. We hope you like. If you're interested and you check out Sports Talk Florida, We have articles in there every week too, with regard to the late pick 5 at Gulfstream Park on Saturdays. And we do a review and a preview, pretty good read that goes along with this. We try and publish that article that gets written up on X, and we'll do that again so you can check it out. But let's get down to action here and talk about some of the things that are going on in the late pick 5 on Saturday at Gulfstream Park, June 21st. The first race is at 4:05. It is a 6 furlong dirt race, claiming 6,250, the lowest level of claiming at Gulfstream Park. Doesn't mean there's not good horses. Doesn't mean there isn't value. There certainly is value. There certainly is good horses. And to start off in that race, we fell on the number 1, Noble Dreamer, morning line of 9-2. What's happening this weekend, or what's been happening the last few weekends, something else I wanted to comment on was there's 2 hot apprentice jockeys down there, Yerber Torres and Luis Fuenmayor. These 2 jockeys are putting some heat on Edgar Zayas and winning some races. They certainly are apprentices, so they're getting their weight allowance. That's cool. That's what you get where you're an apprentice, so you can get up and start running with the big boys. They've been doing a good job. And in this first race, the 7th race at Gulfstream Park, 6 furlongs on the dirt, we went with the number 1 horse, Noble Dreamer, who's being ridden by one of those hot jockeys that we just spoke about, Yalbert Torres. This horse ran last out in a race a little bit above his class, 12.5. I think that was a little bit higher class than he's used to being in. He's been in a lot of 10,000 claiming races. The 2 races back is the race I want us to look at. That's a claiming 6,250 race, like this race, where it came in first by 5, ran a tremendous race, put up a 69 Beyer speed figure. Beyer par at this level is 66. He put up a 69 Beyer speed figure, 2 back at a little bit longer than this distance too. That was 6.5 furlongs. This is 6 furlongs on dirt. So I think his speed is really going to come in handy. It's not a need the lead type horse. In that race that he won by 5 lengths, he was in 4th place early on, and then came on strong, put on a very big turn of foot, and won by 5. Last race, they moved him up. Trainer Jose Garofalo moved him up into a claiming 12.5 race. Didn't get claimed. Great. He still has him. He's putting him back in a race now where he can win. And that's why we like Noble Dreamer. He is the number 1 horse and is currently, not currently, his morning line is 9-2. Hopefully, when the race goes off at post time, he's also 9-2 at that time, because I think this horse has a big shot. And I think the rail is a good place at 6 furlongs, because it is a 27% win at Gulfstream Park at 6 furlongs on the dirt on the rail. So that's another plus for this horse. He's also beaten a couple horses in this race already. The number 3 horse, Foxy Lady, and the number 6 horse, Red Hot Spark. So he's already beaten a couple horses last, 2 back when it was more of the level that this horse belongs. So again, race number 7, our top pick is the number 1, Noble Dreamer. Okay, let's move on to the 8th race, 4:36 Eastern Standard Time, a mile on turf, optional claiming 25K. Again, a mile on turf. In this race, we fell on a horse that we really kind of liked. I think this horse has an opportunity to run a very good race here. The number 8, the Man Up Front. Again, morning line 9-2. Ran a really nice front running race last time out with Jockey Vasquez on, and he stays on for the ride. I think at this level, meaning an optional claiming 25K a mile on turf, this horse should be, I think this horse is going to be the speed of the speed. And I think with that jockey on, he certainly is going to have a good chance to go to the front and just stay there. So in the 8th race, we like that horse, the number 8, the Man Up Front, likely to be up front when the gates open, and looks like Jockey Vasquez is going to give him a good ride. And that horse, morning line at 9-2, I think that's a very generous price. I've mentioned this several times before. When I analyze and break down these races, when I print out the past performances, there are no odds on it. I don't know what the odds are, which is, for me, I love doing that, because if I don't know what the odds are, I don't have any sort of bias that's going to make me like the horse or not like the horse. So, when I go through the races and decide why I like him, which is why we call this segment One Horse Wonder. So you don't have to wonder why I like him. You'll know why I like him. You're not going to have to wonder. I don't know what the odds are, and that is a good reason why I think when I see a horse that I really like, and then when I look at the odds, which they post them like usually Thursday afternoon, like right before, or a couple hours before we do the podcast, it makes it a little more interesting when I look at it and see that, oh, okay, this horse I like and why I like it, and the odds of 9-2 morning line. I would love to see that horse stay at 9-2 come Saturday morning. So anyway, okay, let's move on to race number 9, 5:08 Eastern Standard Time, a mile on synthetic, claiming $10,000, mile and 70 on synthetic again. Looking at this race, a lot of factors came into why I like this horse, and I figured this horse was very likely to be the odds that it ended up being when I looked at the odds today before I did the podcast. It's got a lot of factors going for it. Number 1, prime power, lone speed in the race based on the pace, the style that Brisnet assigns to horses. We talked about that in the past. If you're not familiar with Brisnet, it's a great resource that provides information on these races. Talks about prime power, which gives a horse a rating of number 1, 2, 3, 4, however many horses are in the race. If there's 8 horses in the race, there'll be a number 1 prime power, there'll be a number 8 prime power. And they base that on previous history, pedigree, the kind of race it is, whether it's on turf or synthetic or dirt, the level of the race it is. So this horse, the number 4, Lord of War, has many things going for it that I like. It's the number 1 prime power, being trained by a good jockey, Robert DeBona. When Jose Morelos and DeBona get together, they hit a 37%. 37%. Has won 3 times at Gulfstream Park and at this distance. 4 races back at Gulfstream Park, put up a nice 78 Beyer speed figure, which would fit very well in this race. Morelos got on him last time. Didn't have a very good race. Ran against a couple good horses who came back to win the next race out, which is a key race. So there's 2 horses in the last race that came back to win next out. So he had some good quality horses that he was running against. Didn't run a very good race. Robert DeBona gave him some time off. That's what he needed. The last race he ran was April 19th. So he's had about 2 months off. But boy, on May 22nd, when he put him back out on the track, put up a 47 second time in the workout, 47-second workout, and was best out of 13. So he put a bullet workout up, says he's ready to fire. So I think that this horse has a very big chance to win in race number 9. The 4-horse Lord of War, again, morning line 5-2, very likely to be the post-time favorite. But I think that's a horse that you might want to hang your hat on for some horizontal wagers if you're looking to single a horse. We'll talk about that more on Saturday at 12:30 when we do our podcast again and look at the races after the scratches and any jockey changes. There won't be any condition changes in terms of the track because it's going to be fast and firm once again down there in Gulfstream Park like it is very often. That's why we kind of like doing our races from there. We'll talk a little more about the end of the podcast about what's going to happen in the future in a couple weeks. Okay, let's get to race number 10, which is 6 furlongs on the dirt. Optional claiming $25K once again. Looking at this race, there's a lot of reasons why we like the number 5, Centro Delantero. So you don't have to wonder why. I am going to share with you those reasons. The jockey on this horse may not be known to many of our handicappers unless you follow Gulfstream Park like I do. Marco Meneses is a jockey who oftentimes will get put on a horse because he's familiar with that horse and he ran with this horse, rode this horse last out. He hopped at the start. One race before that, he had a bad break, got bumped at the break. So trainer, Amador Sanchez, is putting blinkers on him. Pretty straight up move to have his focus better so he'll get a better break. And if he does get a good break like he did about 5 races back when he put up a strong Beyer speed figure of 86 at this distance of 6 furlongs, that would win this race easily. The Beyer speed figure here is about 91. A lot of these horses in this race have gotten anywhere near that Beyer par speed figure of 91. This horse, I think, has a good opportunity. Had a good workout on January 15th, put up a 48-second workout. So I think he's sitting on a big race. Meneses is a good jockey, a little bit underrated, not as well known as some of the jockeys we've mentioned previously. But a morning line of 7-2. I think the morning line odds makers also think this horse has a good chance. Otherwise, they wouldn't have given him an opportunity to be 7-2 morning line. Also, I think this horse is going to have an opportunity to close into some speed. Again, this is not a Brisnet figure, but he has the best time form U.S. late pace figure of 100. And there's a lot of speed signed on in this race. If you look at this race, there's speed throughout the whole race, all the horses in this race. This horse has a good chance to come running hard at the end. And I think that's a big factor why we like this horse, the number 5, Centro Delantero. So race number 11 is a 1 1/16 mile race on the turf at Gulfstream Park, claiming 17.5 non-winners of 2. So every horse in this race is looking to finally win their second race. The other races which were labeled as non-winners, they weren't non-winners of 1 or 2 lifetime. They were just non-winners of certain levels that they identify in the conditions of the race, which is kind of deep. I don't need to go into that. But this is non-winners of 2 lifetimes. So none of these horses in this race have won more than 1 race. So they're all looking for the second race. So when I'm looking at this race, I'm looking for maybe a horse that's lightly raced. There's a couple in here that were lightly raced. There's a couple in here who have a lot of experience. We fell on, our top pick was the number 4, Attending. Morning line 7-2, very likely to be the post-time favorite. Finally picking a horse with Edgar Zayas on it. Surprise. Jose D'Angelo and Edgar Zayas click very well together when they do hook up. They click at 37%. That's pretty solid. And if you look at this horse, his last race finally broke his maiden at this level. Maiden claiming 17.5, being put up again at this, non-winners of 2. Well, he just won his first race last out. That was his 4th race. So this horse has a lot of upside to him. Made a really strong move with Edgar Zayas aboard. He was in 3rd place, 8 lengths back, and the turn of foot was something special. And I think if you watch the replay of that race back on May 24th, you'll really see what a turn of foot looks like. And I think this horse has another opportunity to do it again. He came back and had a nice workout on June 13th just to keep him moving. So I think this horse is a strong candidate for the win here with Zayas aboard, with trainer Jose D'Angelo. They win a lot of races together at a clip of 37%. So no reason why you need to wonder about why I like that horse in that race. I've told you why there's no wonder to why we like that horse. So those are our picks in the races. So I just want to make a little bit of comment about what's going on at Gulfstream Park. They will be closing their Royal Palm meet currently on June 29th. They will be not running horses in Gulfstream Park in July and August but they need to, obviously every track needs a little downtime to do some renovations, refurbishing, et cetera. But that is the time when Gulfstream Park will be shut down. So Let 'Em Run and myself will be turning our attention to Saratoga, where they'll be running their meet from mid-July until Labor Day. So that's about a 6.5 week span. And we will turn our attention to those races at Saratoga. Love Saratoga. If you've never been there, boy, what a great place to go. Great people, great races, great horses. They have the Travers, they have the 4-Star Dave, lots of other quality grade 1 races that are run on Saturdays. Really cool place to go. Great town. If you haven't been there, it's a super place to go. But we will be covering those races at Gulfstream Park, at Saratoga, once Gulfstream Park is done, which is on June 29th. So we have 2 more days to pick winners at Gulfstream Park. Last week we picked a lot of winners. 2 of our top contenders, 2 of our top picks came in first. 2 of our top contenders came in first. In the 11th race last week on Saturday, we had the trifecta call. We had our top pick came in first. Our second and third pick came in. The idea that, we had some winners, I think it's going to happen again this week. So let's keep an eye on the races. Let's join us again on Saturday at 12:30 on Capital Sports Network, where hopefully my man Sean Miller gets everything together over there. God bless. I hope things are coming along there with the tornado and the outage, the power outage that you have there. Again, apologize for all the craziness to get this started, but Mother Nature sometimes has trouble, or gives us trouble, and we did deal with it, and then hopefully it worked out and you got for information. So Saturday, 12:30, once again, Sean Miller and myself will be on here on Let 'Em Run. I am Fred York. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. If you liked it, please subscribe and like. And the last thing I want to just say is remember to let 'em run.